here. Hand it over, that thing, your dark soul. For my lady's painting.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Ghostly Shadows, and today we're doing a Dark Souls video again, because Dark Souls is great. And this video is going to be on Slave Knight Gale, one of my favorite bosses in all of gaming. So enough dawdling around, and let's dive on in. You find Slave Knight Gale after beating Half-Light Spirit of the Broken Church, where you either get the NPC or the summon, which was an interesting boss, but that's for another video. And it takes you to Filianore, which is basically one of Gwen's youngest daughter, which was basically keeping the Ring City in the time stasis, basically preventing the end of the world. And since you broke the egg, the end of the world happened. You get teleported to the future, or what we presume to be the future, and you meet your home slice Gale. But this is the first time you meet Gale. You meet Gale actually in the Cathedral of the Deep area, and he's basically praying to an altar, or what some people presume there's a statue behind that altar, he's praying to that. But we don't really know, and that's how you access the Ashes of Ariandal DLC. Enough dawdling around, let's talk about Gale himself. Slave Knight Gale is let's talk about what a Slave Knight is. In the War of Ancient Dragons, a Slave Knight was basically an undead who was used as, like, in the bleakest of battles to basically fight. And the Slave Knights had a little respect by Gwen, Lord of Sunlight. And because they fought very valiantly, because they'll just keep coming back, they're undead and all that. And that's basically what Gale is. He's been since the beginning in the background as a background character. So that it kind of makes sense for a background character to be the final boss in all of Dark Souls. Gale is basically an uncle-like figure to the painter. We meet the painter in the painted world of Ariandal after we beat Wilhelm, and we get the key to basically access the upper floor and make our way to the church. Though his exact relation is unknown to the painter, he has certainly resided in the painted world for some time, at least until the painter was locked up. At this point, he took the rotted remains of the physical portal with him, attempting to find the Ashen One, because with the Ashen World of Ariandal, to basically stop the rot that's basically formed up in Ariandal. The two Ashens ones, Sister Frieda and you, the main character, and the Ashen One, have to meet, because two Ashens will light the painting ablaze to complete the prophecy that will burn away the rotted world so the painter could replace it. Gale could be found praying before the statue of the cleansing chapel bonfire in the Cathedral of the Deep. Upon entering the Ashen One, he's requested the Ashen One to free the painter and show her the flame that would burn the rot away, as I said earlier. Once they come in contact with the piece of the painting he carries, the Ashen One is transported to the painted world of Ariandal. And I think that's a very interesting way. It reminds me of the original Dark Souls, the painted world, of course. How you get into it. Something not really obvious, and you touch it and you go, woo! In the fight with Ariandal and Frieda, the flame is reignited. The painter comments that she will wait until she can see it before beginning the painting. To do that, she needs the pigment she intends to use to create a new world. And this pigment is the Dark Soul itself, discovered by the Fugitive Pygmy, and used to basically, he was the fourth Lord of Cinder, you could call it? Not Lord of Cinder, the fourth First Lord, if that makes sense. And he used the Dark Soul to create humankind itself. She also mentions that Gale intends to basically use it for her, and it's Gale's mission to find the Dark Soul itself, and she wonders whether or not if she found it. And by the end of the game, we know he's basically found it, because you beat Lord of Cinder, and you have the Dark Soul basically itself. That's something I find very interesting about Gale's lore. Gale's mission leads him back to the Ring City, where he came up upon the Pygmy Lords. Their blood had long ago dried and consumed the Dark Soul, making it useless to him. Driven mad by the revelation and determined to complete his mission, Gale slaughters all the Pygmies, cutting their throats and drinking their dried blood, in a desperate attempt to take the Dark Soul for himself. But even he realized the Dark Soul was too powerful for him to handle. It mutated body, causing him to grow and size, warp his mind, and the Ashen One finds Gale fully corrupted at the end of the game. We find that's why he's so big compared to when he was in Ariandel. He's basically completed his mission. It's far in the future. I feel like 2 knights were basically entangled in a pointless and absurd fight, where both sides were searching for the same, the pigment for the painting lady, over the cinder where all the paths converge, and the world that Gwen founded. The chosen undead tried to save or domain it, and the rebellious lords of Cinder rejected for any reason, and so may begin the endless, beautiful, cold yet gentle circle inside the painted canvas of a burning church, made possible after the clash of 2 flames and because of a liquid from the deepest power that looks similar to blood. And yeah, that's it for this time. Hope you enjoyed. And next week is either going to be a Breath of the Wild video, Zelda Breath of the Wild, or a Titanfall 2 video. So see you next time. Ghostly French Toast. Stay safe. Bye.